I tell you, I think a great team win today for our guys. Really proud. You watch how that game went along, especially early in the game. We did a lot of things that in the past we haven't overcome. With missed field goals, some critical penalties. We created turnover. We come away with no points. Some things that you can't do to win big time games. But I tell you what, I love the leadership of our guys. That they kept it together. Great poise. I told them we would make plays today. When we needed to make plays, that was a big difference. Our guys did. Our defense really was stout all day long. Gave them 3 points after an offensive turnover. They held them, created turnovers, which was obviously a huge factor in the game. Offensively, we come out, make some mistakes, sputter around a little bit. They return the opening kickoff of the second half, and then I think we score a couple straight possessions there, or if not, with a little hiccup in between. But a great job by the offense. I think our coaching staff did a great, offensive staff and defensive staff both did a great job. I get to get on that special teams coach a little bit because he didn't do very good today, so I'll meet with him later tonight in a quiet room somewhere and start yelling at him. So my wife will just say, "Hey, I'll go sit in a quiet place in the house and scream to myself." For giving up those big plays. But a great win for us. Great, the fans were unbelievable today. In an early game, they showed up, gave that student body, was packed for kickoff, gave you that home field advantage, and great win.
If you have a question, raise your hand. We'll get you a microphone.
Coach, talk about first the offensive line, the time it gave Tyler, and how he was able to read the defense and just execute plays.
I did. They did a great job, and I thought Tyler today helped. Did a great job mixing up, getting the ball out of hands real quick at times. A couple screens to keep him off balance. When he held the ball, did a great job of buying some time in the pocket, until he could find somebody. So, but I thought the line held up fabulous, but they worked together, and all of that stuff. And just proud of the way he played. I thought Tyler had a lot of poise throughout the whole game, and I thought our offensive line. But we rotated some guys in there. Got some guys some experience, and which is much needed in these type of environments and these type of games, and they did a pretty good job.
Coach,
I can hear you.
Yeah. You talked earlier this week about how you don't care, what teams you've beaten, what teams you've lost to, but now that you've had a little bit of time to let it resonate, you beat another team in the West. How does it feel now?
Feels great. As of right this second, we're first place in the SEC West. So I don't know if that's happened for quite a while at Mississippi State. And by tomorrow, who knows? There's a couple teams playing the West today, so we might be tied by tomorrow. So actually, might be tied in a couple hours. But in the meantime, we'll take it. It's a great feeling. We've talked since I've been here, and I know everybody thought maybe I was crazy talking about how we're going to come here and we're going to compete for SEC championships. I've talked about the road that you have to take to do that. You have to win your home games. You got to win the opener, and both of those happened today for us to put us in a position as we move forward in this season. And it feels great. It feels great. I always laugh. You guys think, okay, I guess the monkey's off my back now, or no? I view it as a bigger one just jumped on. And I hope in November we're talking about like an 800-pound gorilla jumping on my back right now. That's what I want for our program.
Let's talk about the job of your secondary with Broomfield and Banks and Slay and the plays they made.
Just great job today. A great job today of being there. Obviously the big plays with I think we had 3 interceptions today. 3 interceptions. The critical one by Slay in the fourth quarter there in the end zone. I thought that was huge. But all day long, they were there, making it uncomfortable for them in the passing game, making the quarterback hold the ball longer than he wanted to hold the ball, and that's what you need. You want in this type of game, you want your seniors, you want your star players to want the game put on their shoulder, and those guys performed and played that way today.
Coach, talk about the play of your defensive line some. I know McCaleb has been a thorn in your side the last couple of years, but today I think he maybe got outside maybe one time for a relatively short game. But if you would just talk about your defensive line play.
Yeah, I think that was huge. He's obviously a weapon, a threat. Saw that on the kickoff return. He when he gets the ball in his hand in the open field, he is a threat to score at any time. And I thought our guys, with the D-line especially, kept him running sideways all day long. Never really let him get north and south. And, and just let him run sideways, and eventually we contained it and got him down. So I thought that was a huge deal that we didn't give up the real big play, especially their longest run of the day. I look here, it says 12 yards. That's huge. We've given up in the last couple of years some big runs that have turned the tide of the game.
You talked about Tyler earlier, but his performance out of the locker room just seemed to be a different guy, especially on first and second down for you.
Yeah, we've always believed in him, and I think Tyler can come on. I go back to watching even the state championship game in high school for him. He's not maybe the biggest rah-rah guy. He's not running up and down and pumping up the crowd or any of that stuff. But he's a competitor. He's a fierce competitor in his own way. And you could see that today, the poise in which he handled the game. Everything we put on him, he managed throughout the course of the game, got us in the right plays, made great throws, hung in there when he needed to hang in there, got rid of the ball when he needed to get rid of the ball. We need him to play like that if we want to compete for a championship this season. We didn't play like that every single week.
Dan, were there basic principles and fundamentals to keep Frazier in the pocket because he just didn't seem comfortable not being able to move all day?
Yeah, we wanted to force them into a drop back game, and I thought we did that. I thought we were pretty good on first down, really to try to force him into a drop back game. As a young player, obviously he's a very talented player, made a lot of plays, can make some throws. Everybody saw that today, and has a great future ahead of him. One of the things we wanted to do is force him as a young player into a drop back game on the road, and against the veteran secondary. And I think because our first down defense is throughout much of the game, we forced them into that.
Dan, Chad hasn't always come up big in these type of games, but he did today, obviously. It's nice to see that, and you sense that coming from him.
Well, that's huge. We talk about that with those guys. We need our seniors. We're going to go as far as our seniors take us. And, if they can't be looking around for anybody else to make a play anymore. Everyone's looking at them to make the plays. And I know, you could say, well, guy, you used to be a young player, or you don't have that experience that they do now, are older guys. And we expect them to make plays. And, when you look at the stat sheet, our younger guys did some things, but you look at offensively, Chris Smith, Marcus Green, Chad Bumpus, Ladarius Perkins, Tyler Russell. Those are all guys that have been here for a while. They know what the program is. They understand it, and they know that we're going to put games need to be put on them. Even at the end of the game, same with the defense, with the secondary. Josh Boyd recovers the fumble to really clinch it there at the end. The last one, 1-4. But, you got it, Josh. There's nobody else. You're the guy now. You're the guy everybody's looking to, and you're the guy that's going to carry us this year.
Tyler did pretty well responding after Auburn scored. Can you just talk about the poise and how big was that to respond right away after they scored?
Well, it was huge because obviously they jump out, take huge momentum. I told the defense at halftime, hey, if they don't score, we win the game. Well, I guess I lied to our guys within 10 seconds of the start of the second half because we needed to score again. But I do not just Tyler, the poise of the whole offense. To come out, weren't rattled in those situations, knew they had to respond, and went right down the field and responded. And without a hiccup, that's what you want to see out of those guys, and especially out of your quarterback, to have that poise to lead us right down the field.
Coach, Jonathan Bakes said during the summer that he thinks that he's the best corner in this league. Obviously getting 2 picks today, but from what you've seen during the offseason, seen the last couple of games leading into this year, what kind of player can he be?
Boy, a great player. Did he say that? He did. Yeah, that's good. He's got some confidence. That's what you want in your corners. You know what? I don't know. There's a lot of great players in the SEC, but you know what? He's a guy that we asked to be a leader of our team. He's done that. But more importantly, he's also been not just a leader vocally and a leader emotionally with the team. He's a leader by example at practice, but more importantly, he's a leader on game day today by coming up with 2 huge interceptions, making a bunch of plays during the course of the game. That's what you want from your leaders. You want them to not just be vocal guys, but you want them to back it up on Saturdays, and I think he backed it up with a great performance today.
Did you feel the need to say anything to Marcus Green after that first catch? Because after that, nothing went through his hands.
Yeah, I didn't say anything to him, I guess, because I probably wouldn't have had very motivational words to say at that point. But so I guess as an older guy, he understands, and I kept my mouth shut, and it worked out for the best.
More on Marcus, that Auburn, especially Jermaine Whitehead, the safety, just seemed to be biting on the play action with Marcus, who's coming through the middle of the field. Just How dangerous was that today?
Well, I think it helped. I think the fact that we were able to run the ball, not that we ran up and down the field, but we were able to run the ball obviously helps the play-action game. And, and I think, having that balance, I thought we're pretty balanced, 36 runs, it looks like 29 passes, that's pretty balanced. That's not right on 50-50, but I'm happy with that. And I think that allows you to really become more of a threat in the play-action game when you're running the ball. We weren't very good on third downs.
Kind of a two-part question. You think you can assess Blaine's play at left tackle, and also saw Tobias had to come out there and ride the bike a little bit?
Yeah, well, one of the things we did with Tobias, and we took him out a couple times during the game, and that building back in, to Tobias's credit, there was some discussion even into last February that he might not play this season. And, he's worked through it, and this was his first game. I mean, we've practiced him to get him in shape, but I think we've rotated him out 1 or 2 series in the first half and 1 or 2 series in the second half. Now the key to doing that is he's got to get on the bike to stay loose, especially when you've had that type of deal. You can't tighten up, and I seen him at the end of the game. He said he felt good. I mean everybody felt good at the end of the game, so we'll see how that goes. But that was the plan. That early on to go 2 series on, 1 off. And as the game wore on, just to see how much we can get him game shape, how much we can get him game ready, and try to, build him up. He hasn't had the time everybody else has had to get ready for this season.
And Blaine.
Oh, Blaine. I think Blaine did real well today. I wasn't yelling and screaming. I think I screamed at John once because I screamed at John, and then he screams at them and rolls downhill, So, because we jumped off sides that one time. With Jamie on in there, and they jumped off sides. And I think that was on Blaine. But the rest of the day, I thought they held up pretty well. I didn't, even the pressures that they got on us weren't in your face right now, except for blitzes that we knew where we'd be in hot situations. I thought they held up, and Tyler did a good job of managing in the pocket, and those guys gave him time to throw.
Can you assess Tyler's comfort in the pistol formation that you ran on first and second down? It seemed to give him an extra second or two to throw the football.
Yeah, it was good. It was good with the play action. I mean, we mixed that up under center and then the shotgun. So I think we ended up going a little bit more shotgun than we did. We were a little more under center last week at times, but that'll obviously, we'll mix that up during the season and depending on teams and all that stuff. So, but I thought he was really comfortable. I mean, there were times I'm saying, throw it, get it out of your hands, and he just kind of, shifted up, shifted over, dipped underneath, and made a throw. And, I went from screaming, throw the ball, to great job, And, so, I think he did a real good job of being in the pocket today.
Those penalties, obviously, you don't like that in the first half. But you think your guys, with that said, the cleanness you guys played with in the second half, do you feel like you guys have got, some confidence now that you've been looking for the last couple of seasons?
I really do. I do. There are times I'm sitting there in the first half, and I thought we were playing pretty well in the first half. And then playing well and then doing the things that have just bitten us. We get down in the red zone, get a big penalty. We have them pinned deep, and first thing we do is have a personal foul on a late hit out of bounds or something like that. We did some of the silly things that we have never been able to respond from in the back. Now, obviously, I want to get those cleaned up. But I do like the poise that all our guys had and our coaches had in leading their guys and on both sides of the ball. That there was never any concern. They believed that they were going to make the plays to win it when it mattered, and we did in that second half.